Hi, this is part 2 of the demonstration for the industry research assignment. The previous questions were questions 1 to 3, and those were about the background. That was the NAICS code, the size of the industry, and the recent revenue growth statistics for the last 5 years. Here in this recording, I'm going to show you how to conduct a situation analysis or a SWOT analysis using ChatGPT. And I have in the assignment given you the different prompts that you're going to use. So the very first prompt we're going to use is the one over here. And this is prompt number 1. Please do a SWOT analysis for Chipotle Mexican Grill. Of course, you are going to do that. I will show you with the example of Nike shoe stores. And then I will take you through the steps for prompt number 2, which is about asking ChatGPT what sources you have referred to in coming up with the SWOT analysis. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to change this. It takes like a fraction of a second to give you its response. Now, what is important for us is to take enough time to read through these. The strengths, there are 5 of these. There are weaknesses, there are 4. There are opportunities. So strengths and weaknesses are what the company has currently, and we want to plan for the future. So then we have to look at the future opportunities and future threats. So the opportunities are these 4, and the threats are these 4. So now these are the this is the situation analysis. This is the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats for Nike shoe stores, or SWOT for this company. Now, obviously, in the future, the company would like to preserve its strengths no matter what the threats are. So you have to see what the threats are. These could be, economic, political, natural, technological, social, and so on. So you have to see which of these threats can destabilize its strength. And you pick one strength and then work on finding out how that strength might be compromised in the future, and what strategies should it be using in order to preserve that strength. So you need to kind of do an evaluation, critical analysis for Nike over here. And of course, you will do it for Chipotle Mexican Grill. And then the second thing I want you to do is look at the weaknesses and see currently if these are the weaknesses, like premium pricing, dependence on third-party retailers, or limited product availability, or high operational costs. take one of these weaknesses and then figure out what opportunities there are that the company has or what strengths it has so that it can actually work on its weaknesses, have a plan, have a strategic plan for the future, and it can overcome or at least reduce its weakness. Okay, so these are the two areas that you have to propose what the company should do. In your case, the Chipotle Mexican Grill. Okay. Now, the second thing which you need to do is you have to ask ChatGPT. What are the sources that you have used in order to come up with these, these SWOT that they came up with? So this is, so by the way, we don't need to uh, go on with anything more than what you have seen. I have got there. So would you like us to tailor to a specific market or region? We don't need to do that. But we need to know this is prompt number 2. What are the sources you have referred to in coming up with the above? And I guess we don't need these quotation marks. And then once I ask the prompt, then out come the answers. So they are giving us publicly known facts about Nike. That is from, databases, companies, publications like Interbrand, Forbes. Then you have, different things that they're saying, but they're not being very specific. So we want them to be more specific, and we are going to push with our prompting and ask for more details about the references, because not only in reports, you want to know that this is, you have to cite these sources, but you also want to know that the ChatGPT is actually looking at these sources, and it is not kind of, just going over things in very general ways and not going deep into specific information. And when it actually does that, it comes out with a lot of mistakes and says things with the confidence which are not true. And that's called hallucination. So you don't want, to be a victim of ChatGPT's hallucinations. So you need to be asking for citations and then also looking into citations and making sure that these are legit and the data matches what you see in the citations. So then we are going to use another prompt to ask for more specifics. And let's see what we come up with. So now here we have the specific citation statista, and for the first strength, the second one has Business Insider, the third one has Nike Investors, and these are all clickable. And as you can see, if you hover your mouse, you'll get the entire full citation, and not the citation, actually, the full reference. You can go in there and you can look up these things, and then you have to create the citations using the APA format, which, by the way, ChatGPT can also help with that. And then we have no citation for here. This one we do, and weaknesses. This one also we do for weaknesses. And then it loses the citation here. Here we have opportunities, another one, and so on. But I would like to it to give us more. And let's see. So I am going to probe it further and write that you haven't provided specific sources for the key points you have made above. Please do so. Okay, let's see what it does. And doesn't give the sources here, but it gives specifics about what it was writing as the points for the different strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Notice that it has actually gone to 2024 instead of 2025. And I guess it is looking at published data which would be at the end of May 31st, 2024, that it can lay its hands on. And so I will make one last attempt and see if it can give us some more specific citations for each of these. Can you cite sources for each of these points that you have made above in the SWOT analysis? And let's see. This promises to be better. Let us hope. Well, I am surprised. We didn't get anything more. I mean, we have some new sites. So I think the more we ask, we get more, but not something that is taking care of all the points and citations for them, which is really important because, you know, if you're making specific points like these, you need to have specific citations. So Statista is probably the source for all three of these. But then what about the source for the fourth one? In any case, you guys can also, based on which strength or weakness you select in order to make these recommendation for the strategic plan, and which opportunities and threats that you're going to be evaluating, you should do some research and find the support for these points over here that ChatGPT has given us. So this is very useful to really come up with not how to come up, but how to interpret these things and then make recommendations for how the company can overcome weaknesses or preserve strengths and so on. Okay, so I have demonstrated to you now this part, which is going to be in Appendix B. And I actually have shown you this, I have provided you this in the assignment, in the module. And so you have the copy. So this, how to create, how to copy this. Okay, let me show you that because that is something you'll need to do. So what you need to do, this is the first one, please do the SWOT analysis. And this was the first prompt. Now, let us see. Okay, at the end of this, the first, response, we see all these different icons. We can go here and copy it. We can then go to, blank page on Word, or if you cannot access Word, you can do it on Google Doc. So this is Appendix A. And of course, we want it to be centered. And we can also, change the font and so on. And